So, ladies and gentlemen, fanboys and girls, nerds, weebs, and otaku, welcome back and welcome home.
All right. This is going to be an interesting show already. Well, hello there, everybody. This is Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ. Show where you and I and you get creative, have fun, and learn new things. So, folks, we got our friends James and Robert on the show, and Mr. Nathan has joined us from his dinner table.
Today, it's actually more of a Monster Hunter table, but okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Nathan is over there playing Monster Hunter at the same time we're doing the show.
You don't understand, Dad. I can't pause the game.
Oh, for the love of God, I hear that enough.
Which is funny to me as a Gen Xer because we couldn't pause the game when we wanted to anyway.
Yeah, much of a butt kicking I'd get if I said that.
Dude,
oh my
you
God.
can never say that.
No, oh, dude. Hang on, Dad, I'm fighting Mike Tyson. Yeah, you're going to be fighting somebody else in a minute. Get over here. Put that damn Nintendo down. What's wrong with you?
Oh, definitely. And sometimes we didn't even get a warning.
No. Hey. I don't know. My dad was good about giving warnings. I think he enjoyed it.
Yeah, because he wanted, it's that fear. He had to strike the fear into you.
No mercy.
Exactly.
Strike hard, strike first, no mercy.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You know,
That's a
we
part of
always
my
get
other
that,
comment.
wait till your father gets home. Oh, the flashbacks.
Yeah, this
All right,
is
so
good.
James, let's start off with you. Why don't you tell the people who you are, all the good things, give them the spiel.
The spiel. My name is James Burton. I am a comic book creator. I am most noted for Damage Incorporated with Scatter Comics. Right now, I am working with my sister to put out the Ballad of Nod, also with Scatter Comics. Ballad of Nod is a story about a little girl who has lost her father to cancer. And her nightmares are coming in from the dream world. And literally the only thing protecting her from them is her teddy bear Patches, who comes alive whenever she's asleep. Unfortunately, though, the biggest, baddest of them demons from the dream world comes through, drags that bear into the dream world right after. And she has to make a choice about whether or not to go save her friend or stay where she's perfectly comfy. The story itself, as I mentioned, because of the grief element with her father, is based on elements of me being a cancer survivor. I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor from years ago, and my daughter, she had just been born when I got diagnosed. And as soon as I got diagnosed, I was in a hospital bed trying to have somebody save my life.
Right.
So it was a tremendous fight for about 2 years. It involved a lot of help from family, and a lot of things happened in that 2 years. Not only did I have to fight cancer, I also lost my career, lost my mother, lost one of my grandfathers, lost my other grandfather, and then lost my father. And dude, like we were talking about dads earlier, your dad can be gruff, but my dad was my hero. And it affected me a lot worse than I thought it was, because it's not like I didn't see it coming. But trying to communicate all of that trauma from surviving, all of that everything that comes with surviving the passing of the parent isn't something you can really explain to a 3-year-old.
Right.
And I didn't know how to explain it. That's the other part of it. I did not, even though I love my dad, I had terrible parents. I didn't know how to cope or do any of those things. So it became like a quest for me to help her understand why her dad was so sad and try to turn it into something else. So it became storytelling, which is my default. I've been a storyteller since I was little. I'm a comic artist. Was doing short film storyboards at the time, and I started telling her bedtime stories about my childhood, about my dad's childhood. And they eventually morphed into me telling her stories about a little girl with her teddy bear and all this other stuff. And it's just become part of the family lore. So this book has a lot of personal value for me. It does take on a lot of those emotional elements of losing a parent and of, trying to find a way to survive through it. Patches is a real bear, as an example. When Camille was 3, she found a gift I had gotten for her mom when her mom went through a surgery a number of years before.
Right.
Just decided that was her bear. And that's where that lore comes from. And I've kind of blended all that into it. My sister Kira, growing up, she went through the same traumas as I did, but she's also a writer. Like, she does poetry books and she does poetry events and things like that. So she's helped me with the voices of the characters and with some of the things going on. She's been a really strong part of writing it and helping me make sure that the story is being told the right way. It's going to be the first of 6 issues. And right now we have the first one completely done. The second one is all the writing's done. The art is about 50%. And we have the scripts written for the next 4. So the progress on the book is we're going to hope to try to make sure we get 3 issues out a year for the next couple of years and try to get the series all done and complete for everybody out there who's ever been afraid of the dark and needed that teddy bear, man. I mean, that's pretty much all of us has felt that at one time or another. And I want to make sure anybody who's faltered has got a chance to help them understand it. Know that there's somebody else out there who's felt it.
I gotta say, this is a perfect way to show it off, explain it, and we get creative sometimes when we need to show people things, especially because as Gen X, we weren't given that luxury.
Yeah, my dad was bigger than life in a lot of ways, but being able to explain things wasn't his forte.
I feel you. Dude, this looks fantastic.
Thank you. We worked very hard on it. One of the things I also say about the artwork is I've done art for a lot of books. I've done stuff for Orange Cone Productions. I've done stuff for a couple of other publishers, been in a lot of anthologies, but how I draw for myself, how I draw in my notebooks, how I draw in my journals, I tried to bring that into this so that it's as personal as possible. This is the style I prefer to do. I prefer to do some of the colors are really toned down for a reason. I'm colorblind, so I don't enjoy coloring. But then there's other ones where it's important to get the point across. So those colors end up becoming really vibrant. It really is how I prefer everything to go ahead and be. I didn't hold back on anything. I made sure that the emotions were in every single one of the panels.
I gotta say, the art gives the book a great feel and a good look.
Thank you.
And that's always great when you can have the art be a character in the book as well.
That was something really important to me. The first issue, when I thought I was done, I felt like something was kind of missing. And I had the unfortunate experience of taking a family trip up to Seattle, which is our second time going up there. I thought I was going to love it the way I loved the first time. But unfortunately, we got robbed. Ooh. Somebody stole everything out of our truck, and that included my computer. my tablet that had all of my files on it. I had to redo a lot of it, and when I redid it, I put a lot of effort into making sure that the backgrounds and that the land of Nod, the land of the dreams, became part of the characters. It needed to have its own tone and its own attitude. So it's going to be both dark and filled with wonder, because that's kind of what childhood's about. When I don't know about you, but I grew up watching stuff like The Dark Crystal.
Exactly.
I grew up watching, Never Ending Story. There were the kids of the hero, but they go through hell. And I want it to feel that way. I want anybody who reads it I want any kid who reads it to know that they can be the hero of the story. And I want them to understand there are dark things. That's my sister.
He said, though, it's his own character. I completely agree.
It is. She was really insistent on it, actually. Those dark things give us the opportunity to rise up and become the nobler versions of ourselves. And without them, the motivation is very different. So while there is scary elements to the book, it's only to provide those opportunities for the characters to do the right thing, which is a part of all of those stories I grew up with. Whether it's the Horned King and dealing with things like the Sword in the Stone, or dealing with fairy tales from Grimm, all those things, those lessons were there for a reason, to give us the opportunity to become more than what we are.
I agree. I feel like the darkness is what helps us become who we are in the light.
Yeah. You get that lesson.
We need to let the darkness consume us, or come on the other side and let the light shine.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of original art reward tiers in this, trying to make sure they're all things that I can control, and make sure that we're able to go ahead and get all the stuff out by June or earlier. There is poetry from my sister, a sketch cards from me. I do have one-off designer that's going to make a 12-inch version of patches, because I cannot give away my daughter's patches. She would kill me in my sleep. And
it's always a good thing to have a physical version of what you're telling in the story.
Yeah, it does help. Like if I want to draw him a little differently or whatever, I can always grab him. But she does threaten me if he's gone too long. She's a teenager, but it still is one of those things. It's precious.
Oh, that's even worse. When they're a teenager, it means more than they let on. They're like, whatever. But they're like, where is it?
Yeah. Turn around. Now they're actually capable of the threats, which is worse.
I love this. I have my own superhero teddy bear. So, as soon as I saw this, as soon as I ran into it on social media, I was like, I have to have him on the show so we can talk about this.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that it felt like that. I want people to see it and remember their own experience, and remember how powerful it felt to find those things. When I was little, I had a stuffed elephant. I don't have him anymore. He got destroyed in the flood, but I had him for a very long time. And he was ratty and torn up, and I loved him to death. And you're in those moments where you're scared by the thunderstorm, or you've had a bad day, or you got yelled at by the wrong person. When you're 6, all that stuff matters really heavily. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of growing up. And as adults, we kind of forget that there are things like that can, that we can put our own emotions into.
Oh,
and
definitely.
This is a chance for people to read it and remember those feelings.
Dude, I have to say, yeah, all that is, to the heart, because, I feel like sometimes, adults just forget so much, and lessons we learned hard, and we just forget.
That was probably
James had a Dumbo. I held him when I got my tonsils out.
Yeah, I remember that too. But that was the best part about being a parent. I was scared to death to be a parent. it still blows my mind how scary it is. But when you embrace it and realize that your kids are this gift to see the world again through those eyes, and not only understand it from a different perspective, but help guide them through it. You don't quite understand that until you're going through it.
Yeah.
And but embracing it and being a part of it has become a really important part of my life. And I totally didn't expect that, dude. I grew up with a meth cook as a father and an addict as a mother. It just wasn't like that. It's a combination of Breaking Bad and freaking Sons of Anarchy. So.
Oh man, but you know, as when I became a father too, it was like this whole thing where you're sitting there going, "What the hell am I going to do?" And then you kind of remember lessons that you learned along the way. You know, with me, as soon as I started remembering Mr. Rogers, started remembering all this good stuff that we consumed, because we consumed a lot of media.
Yep.
And it reminded me that I learned all these lessons already, you know, and I had an idea of which way to go. But every parent makes mistakes. So, you know, the whole thing is just to do what you got to do and see what happens.
Yep.
But I love it. I love what you did. I like the book. Folks, you should go over there. You should, let's see, you are at...
We're at 55% right now. We've only been going for a few days until March 28th when we wrap up. So
you got 24 days to go. Folks, we can get them to 3,000. Come on.
That would be great. That is when the stretch goals hit.
I tell people all the time, like, nobody's making money here. Everybody's trying to make the next book. We're just trying to make the next book. That's what you're helping us with. You know, nobody's making a profit unless you're one of the big guys. You know, everybody's just trying to make the next book.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get to their next book, trying to build. On their first one. This is my second series I've put through Kickstarter. The last one was Damage Incorporated, which I still do, but I wanted to get the Nod story completed out, so I've put the damaging stuff on hold for a little bit while I work on this.
All right, folks. Let's do a treat here. Let's go to the videotape and check out this thing. You got wait till you see it. Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
I think that is a nice way to give the people the feel for the book, and at the same time, you know, kind of immerse them in the world.
Yeah, I tried to make it. Usually, I did the videos where it's me talking and showing little bits of my artwork. I wanted the project to have its own voice this time.
Yeah, then that's what it does. It gives the feeling of the project. It gives the heart of the project. it gives the passion of the project. And as we all know, that's what we love here at Bit and Apple TV. We love when we can see that passion.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I look for when I'm bringing the guest on is that passion. And brother, you got passion.
I appreciate that, Rob.
All right, so folks, as we are gonna move on, you got this here, and we'll come back to it at the end. Hopefully, we'll have one or two of you snagged and helping out. And I already know that one of you is gonna be out there going, Ralph, I don't want to go look for the link. Well, I'm gonna put the link into the comment section so you guys can easily go find it right now. So go for it. All right, Robert. Why don't you tell the people who you are and all the good things? And
hello, everybody. By the way, James, it's pretty cool. I'll be checking out the Kickstarter, by the way. So very awesome.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, no problem. But hi, guys. I'm Robert Manning. I am best known on TikTok. And conventions. I go to a lot of conventions every year. I dress up as Buddy the Elf. And we've got almost 35,000 followers on TikTok, so that's pretty cool. Most of my videos
cool.
on there are me as Buddy the Elf and, making content like that. So, yeah. So
I've seen you for a long time, and we've actually probably been at the same con a couple times.
That's what I was going to say. What cons have you been to that because in your one video, I almost thought I saw myself, but I don't think I did. But
because I could swear we've crossed paths before. We just haven't had a chance to talk.
Cons that I've been to, and you can tell me if you've been to. I've been to Dallas Fan Expo for literally the last 7 years. So if you've ever been to that one and you saw Buddy the Elf, that was me. I've been to Chicago Fan Expo the last 2 years. We went to Lexington Con in 23, both the horror and the regular one. And I think and I went to Dragon Con 1 year too. That was awesome in 23.
That's the one we're still trying to get to.
What state are you in, my dude?
I am in New York, so we're on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did you go to Rhode Island by chance in 23?
Bingo, there it is, Rhode Island.
That's what it is.
That's where I saw you.
Rhode Island.
I was like, okay, I said all these. He hasn't said anything, so I got to find out what state he is. And I was like, oh, yeah, Rhode Island. Yes, we did go to Rhode Island.
Go to the con?
Yeah, Rhode Island has a Comic-Con. It was pretty nice, too.
Yeah, it's called the biggest convention in the smallest state. It is Rhode Island Comic-Con. That was amazing. I got that year. I got to meet Shannon Dory before she just passed away this last year. And that one was cool. Fun convention, worth the flight. Because I flew to that one. So, yeah, that was a pretty good one.
I'm happy you said that because I was sitting there going, I couldn't have seen him because he's more west than this. And now I know that I saw him.
Yeah, you're like, okay, he's naming a bunch of West cons. And then how the heck did I see this guy? And yes,
exactly.
Rhode Island Comic-Con 2023. I was the Buddy the Elf that was running around. And then the last day I did Crust Off from Frozen because I still had a lot of consignments to do. And I didn't want to be stopped every 5 seconons like I was the entire weekend. So I was like,
did you become like a little celebrity with your buddy all over the place?
Yes. Because one thing that, because some people have asked me, what do I do at these cons is, yes, I go to meet them, obviously, but I do consignments at these conventions. So people will send me their stuff. I charge them. I charge usually a $20 fee, unless it's a bigger celebrity that I'm going to have to wait in a long line, like maybe Mark Hamill, for example. We met him last year. And I didn't charge as much as other people are charging, but I charged a little extra than 20. I always keep things fair. If people send me 10 items for a person, I've had people say, can you do a discount? I'm like, yeah, we can work something out, but yeah, I like going to the conventions. We also now do press at a lot of the conventions too. So the third link I sent you, which I might as well advertise that now.
Here we go.
So this is a company I am part of, Streampunk Entertainment, or Streampunk Cinema is our YouTube channel. And if you go, if you guys get the chance, go look up Streampunk Cinema on YouTube, and you'll go to playlists, and there's an entire channel that says Rob Manning's Chats. Those are all different celebrities interviews that we have interviewed. We're still getting a bunch in there that I just did 2 weekends ago. Like I got to interview Tom Kenny recently. That one's not posted yet, but that is a tease. That's the voice of SpongeBob. But you'll see some pretty awesome interviews. There's stuff for young kids. There's stuff for the older folks, like Little House on the Prairie's on there. We got the Blues Clues for the younger folks, or my age too, because we have the original Steve on there. So there's all kinds of different interviews. It's been cool to get to talk to these different celebrities and stuff. We do a show every Monday on Facebook or on this YouTube channel. It'll pop up automatically. And that's every Monday at 8 p.m. EST time. So that is our YouTube. And yeah, it's been cool to see the different people we got to interview. One I'm excited that we haven't posted yet is Bill Farmer. Got to interview him. He was really awesome. And stuff like that. So if you like celebrities, you like interviews, then you guys should definitely go check that out.
Yeah, folks. He's all over the place. He runs around. He does his job.
Yes,
Did I see on there right? Was that little redheaded kid from
Yes.
from Mary Poppins?
Oh wait, what?
I thought I saw one of the kids from Mary Poppins on there.
No, that was from Family Affairs.
Ah, okay.
That's
Gotcha.
Johnny Whittaker. That was also in the Huckleberry Finn
Gotcha.
movie from the 80s or some. I think it was 80s. Yeah, something like that. But anyways, but yeah, no, there's all kinds of people on there that you're gonna be like, whoa, he got to interview that person. The one that kills me the most that I got to try to reach out is I got to interview Cujo. He is from not Cujo. Wojo. Sorry, Wojo. He is from the cop show that is now blank in my mind because of course I have to think.
Barney Miller?
Yeah, the Barney Miller show. Yeah, Wojo.
You said Wojo. I was waiting for something else, but I was like, you can't be talking about Barney Miller.
Yes,
Pretty cool.
Barney Miller. I had a 14-minute conversation with the guy. I went to go check the audio. Finds out my microphones were off, so he didn't pick up a single thing.
Oh, I hate when that happens. It's happened to us before.
I was like, and I didn't know this until I got home, and they said, no, because
that's even worse because he can't do anything about it.
Oh yeah, there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm like, oh no, because we had a great conversation. We talked about the Jackie Robinson movie, 42.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And because he was in that movie. And then he talked about like the stuff that they did in the behind the scenes in the Barney Miller show. So yeah, it was such a fun interview, and then never happened.
That makes it even worse because you're like, oh my god, that was great.
Yeah, like, oh, I can't wait to post this. This should get like some views. Oh no, never mind.
You should have fun with it.
There's still a huge Barney Miller fan base. Yeah.
Oh wait, what was it?
What are you saying, James?
You should have fun with it. Take the original images that you recorded and then redo the interview and dub that crap and call it Kung Fu Edition.
Well, the problem is I got to try to get back a hold of him because he doesn't do a lot of events. And this was at a wonderful event that I didn't give you a link or anything, but might as well advertise it because it's coming up in April. It is called the Cherry Blossom Festival in Marshfield, Missouri. That is another event that I'm going to be going to. I go every year, and they let me do press at this event. And that's how I've gotten to interview a lot of the different people. And they always bring the Little House on the Prairie people. But the one I'm excited this year to meet is Bambi. The original voice of Bambi is going to be there. So can't wait to see him. I've got some cool items that I can't wait to get signed. And the thing I love about this event is they really so I've been to a lot of Comic-Cons, so I usually know what people charge. But what's great about this event is the most you're going to spend on one autograph is usually about $40. Most of the people will be $20, but there are a couple people that will stick with their $40 price. But as a person that goes to like all these other cons, if anyone knows, you can't really find an autograph for less than $40 usually.
No.
Maybe a selfie for $20, but not an autograph for $20. So it's pretty cool. And it always cracks me up when I'll bring my own item. They're like, "Oh, you brought your own item? Okay, that's only $10." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, it was a little thing people don't know. Sometimes, especially if you bring an item that they're like, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
how'd you get this?"
Yeah, but
Right.
let's be clear, that's item. I got in line once, and I was waiting to talk to James O'Barr, and the two people in front of me, the guy brought a 2-foot stack of Crow memorabilia, and he stopped the entire thing for 45 minutes trying to get him to sign every one of those. And
people do that.
yeah, that's
Usually the handlers will shoo them away, or give them like a 2 or 3 limit. But I've seen it with comics. I've seen it with.
I was gonna say
oh
I've
my
never
God.
seen from the cons I've been to. The only people I've seen limits are like Kevin Eastman.
Okay, yeah, that's that con. Yeah,
Eastman usually has a 5 per person limit per time. You can always go back at the end of the line, but good luck. Because depending on what event, you may not be able to go back because you're going to be spending all day trying to get them again, or you go the next day. You go the next day trying to hit them first thing. But yeah, or that's where little secret, just bring a friend with you, because then you can give them 5 items, and then you can get 10 items signed. Because I'm a huge Turtles fan, and I have these Cobra Kai versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures they did. And they're all signed by Kevin Eastman. They're all signed by the different actors from the Cobra Kai that are each figure, because they did one of Miguel, Johnny, Danielson, and then Kreese, John Kreese. So I have all the actors signed them. I have them all signed by the live action Turtles. I have them all signed by the voice actors of the 80s Turtles. And then they're all signed by Kevin Eastman.
That's the way to do it, man.
So in that case, and then I also have these the Power Rangers Turtles crossover that they did of the Funko Pops.
Right.
I have all them signed by Kevin Eastman and all the actors. But what I did with them is I gave my friend, I was like, "Hey, here's 5 items. I got my 5 items," and we were able to get them all signed at once.
That's a good trick, and then at the same time, you're not being mean or rude or anything, because it's somebody else doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And you gotta find, as a person that's been to cons and stuff, I've been to many conventions, and so I know the ins and out of all these events. Another thing I want to advertise real quick is a podcast that's coming up soon to a streaming service near you, like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever it is, the podcast app. But I have a new podcast coming out called Manning the Wheel with Buddy and Friends.
I love it. Love the title.
Yeah,
I saw that thing pop up on my feed. I was like, all right.
Right. I was like, because if for the people that are not on TikTok, because I don't usually tell my actual name on TikTok, but Manning is my last name, and my friend's like, "Yo, you were blessed with this. You got to use the term manning the wheel." I'm like, okay, but I'm like, I got to have Buddy somewhat incorporated, because I do Buddy the Elf at all these conventions. And then I had somebody reach out to me the other day, and they're like, "You may get copyrighted infringement." I said no, because technically the hat that I used is the same hat that's in the movie of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If anything, Elf copyrighted Rudolph, which is a true fact. There's a lot of similarities between the two movies where they were actually almost sued, and Buddy would have had to wear a blue suit the entire suit instead of his green suit, because they wanted a homage to basically he would have had to been a homage to Hermes. And so yeah. But anyways, so yes, so we got Manning the Wheel with Buddy and the Friends, and it'll be a podcast that I've got a couple of co-hosts that'll join me. And the big reason why I started this podcast is, I have so many convention stories that I tell people all the time, and I always get asked, "Oh, what started the Buddy the Elf thing?" Well, that's why I want to make the podcast, because that's like a 20-minute story in itself. give you guys the Cliff Note version just here in a second. But
Give
so
us the teaser, yeah.
That's gonna be the first episode. Is what inspired the buddy and stuff. So when people do ask, I say, hey, go to my podcast, go to first episode, just click there, put an earbud in, you'll be good for the next half hour. Just listen to me talk so I don't have to talk that second, So also I've been to a lot of conventions. I want to talk about all the good interactions, and I want to talk about the bad interactions that I've had, because you got to have the good with the bad,
Right.
We're still working that out of how I can get away with that. We may do a Patreon where maybe we'll get the more juicier stories on Patreon and stuff
Go to
like
the
that.
Patreon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like if there's
Dude,
ones that people like.
I'm sure those stories are fantastic, but you know what I want to hear? I want to hear how you turn yourself on to a buddy level, how many energy drinks you choke down, and how much syrup you chug to
Great
get through an
question.
entire con day at buddy level energy.
So it's funny you mentioned that, and now I feel like I feel like a walking ad sponsor for these people when I'm about to mention. So so back in the day, Buddy used to drink like 3 monsters a day, or when I'm at a con, at least 2 monsters each day of the convention. And it was great, the conventions that where Monster was the sponsor, so you could just go get a free monster.
Yeah.
I remember that summer with the trucks that showed up.
Right.
Where they were just loaded down with monster drinks, and there was all these cosplayers just sucking
you get a monster, and you get a monster, and you get a...
Yeah, you get a monster, or they'll have the first convention I went to, like back in 2017, they had the 5-hour energy.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Yeah.
Was a sponsor, and I was like, cool, heart attack in a can. Yeah, why not? Yeah. No, so ironically, I don't drink monsters or coffee anymore. I haven't for the last 4 weeks. Today was my 4-week anniversary of doing that. I do a thing called Neuro Gum, and it's this gum that's got 40 milligrams in each little gum, and it's non-aspartame, it's vegan, it's gluten-free, it's sugar-free.
Nice.
They use stevia, I think is what they use. I think the stevia is what they use. But they're what I've been using, and I do 3 a day, so that's 120 milligrams instead of doing 3 monsters a day, which was like 480 or whatever you want to say calculation at work.
I'm guessing they do the slower release where you chew it, and it kind of helps you because now it's releasing little by little by little.
Well, I do know, like, what's good about the Neuro is when you're chewing it, you're automatically getting the caffeine, unlike a monster or coffee may take a little longer because you are drinking it and stuff, but because it can absorb in you, I guess would be the terminology.
Exactly.
So, and it all because I'm on TikTok, I requested a free sample, and the free sample was a 90-pack bag.
Nice.
Neuro Gum, and they sent it to me, and I said, this is a sign that I'm going to do 30 days of no energy drinks, and tomorrow will be day 29. And then what's funny is I didn't realize that I requested 180 pack, and that just came in 2 days ago. And I was like, cool, I have 2 more months supply for free, so I'm saving so much money not drinking monsters anymore. But yes, so James, to answer your other question, yes, I will usually bring a bottle of maple syrup with me to the conventions. And when somebody mentions the syrup, I will usually drink some because that's just to be part of the character. I get, so, and to better answer your question, so back in 2017 is when I first did Buddy the Elf. I'm going to give a quick, 2016, sorry. Christmas of 2016, we're going to give a real quick cliff note so I'm not taking up the entire show. But basically, I worked at Walmart. Walmart had a calendar. On the one date was an elf costume contest. And for y'all that don't know me, I am 6'5". So I said, how does a 6'5" guy win an elf costume contest? I mean, and what just so happened is a little picture of Buddy the Elf was on that calendar. And so what I did, it was supposed to be a joke. I went to Walmart.com, typed in Buddy the Elf costume, because they say they have everything on Walmart.com. There it was. I ordered it. And on the contest day, yes, I did win the contest. For all y'all that were wondering, we won my extra $30 on my check that they could, tax off or whatever they want to do. But it was an extra $30. They told me, hey, can you come Saturday? We got Santa Claus coming, and he's going to be gone for an hour, so we need you to fill in. That entire day, I got to walk around as Buddy the Elf and get paid, so that was great. But
Nice.
It didn't stick too much until I went to my first ever convention in 2017. It was called Vision Con, and they had John Wesley Shipp was there from The Flash, and they had Brian Murr, which y'all don't know that name, but what's cool about him is he's the guy that sculpted the Darth Vader suit and the Stormtrooper suits for the original Star Wars. So cool meeting him. And then you had a couple people from the Face Off TV show. The one lady did Drax's makeup in Guardians of the Galaxy. And then you had Master Chief there. So it was this little event. Got to go there for my 20th birthday. It was my mom's gift to me for my birthday because it was right around the corner. And I went as Batman the one day. I went as the Joker the next day. Got a little pictures. We went as Buddy on Sunday. I was stopped every minute. Hey, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture? Can we get a picture? I said, I may have something here.
Exactly.
And then that's what build a relationship to a person that added me on Facebook. And that's how I got to go to Dallas Fan Expo for the first year in 2017. And that's where I got to meet Stan Lee before he passed away. And normally there's a longer story with that, but we're not going into all the detail. but that will be on the podcast of how I met Stan Lee and how that wasn't even supposed to
folks,
happen.
that's how you tease. Now you got to go see it or hear it on the podcast.
That'll probably be on the first episode too. About or probably second episode, we're meeting Stan Lee and stuff. But yes, these are just little teasers. But yeah, so getting it was when I went to Dallas, where I used to be the guy that wanted to wear a Batman shirt to go meet Adam West and Burt Ward. I wanted to wear a Gotham shirt to meet Penguin, and I wanted to wear a Marvel T-shirt to meet Stan Lee. So I kept changing in and out of Buddy the Elf. That was the con I realized we're just gonna stay as Buddy. We're not going to change in and out to, that was just too much of running back and forth that I was exhausting myself out. So that's why you see Buddy now almost every day. Unless, like I said, on the Sundays, if I have too many consignments and Buddy's kind of slowed me down a little bit.
Oh, definitely, because everybody's going to stop you.
Oh, yeah. So then I'll be like, Steve from Blue's Clues was on like the Sunday of Dallas when I met Steve himself. But I wore that because I said, I can't be stopped every second. So if I go as Steve, I'll get a couple pictures, but I'm not going to be stopped about 100 times. So that's where that is. And then last thing I want to advertise, and we'll go to the next thing. Sorry that I'm taking up a lot of time.
It's what we do, folks. It's what we do. Go for it.
Okay. If I was in my first ever movie, I am an actor. The movie I was in, which you have that link, is Running the Bases. It is a Christian baseball movie. And it was one of the first movies that I got to be a part of. And I have a small talking line in the movie, and that was big because I was just supposed to be an extra. I was told about a week after the movie came out that my line was going to be cut in the movie because I didn't have an agent and stuff like that. And I was a little devastated. But then they invited me to the premiere. I didn't get to go to the premiere, but I invited my friend. I said, hey, you were actually in the trailer. And they didn't get an invite. But I had a feeling because I was invited to the small little premiere that they did, I had a feeling that my line was in the movie. So I told them, I sent them, and the funny part about that story is I told them, I said, you got one job. Please do not tell me if I'm in the movie because I wanted a blind reaction. I get a text that night at 1 a.m. in the morning. You're in the movie. You have 60 lines. I'm like, I told you no.
Don't tell me.
You had one job and you failed. But no. But the reason why I missed this premiere, I wish I could have been there. But it was because I was at Dallas Fan Expo that year. That was the year I met Brendan Fraser, and I'm sorry, I no regrets because Brendan Fraser has not done a con since that convention because he won the Oscar right after that convention.
Right.
So he hasn't been to a con. So I would have not been able to get the autographs that I wanted for myself if I didn't go to that event. So, no regrets. But yeah, that's my first ever movie I was in. And we're hoping to do more movies in the near future. I'm just being in Arkansas. There's not a lot of opportunities out here. And the only reason why I found out about this movie is because a coworker told me at 9 p.m. at night, hey, did you hear about the movie that's filming in the town that's an hour away? And I said, no, what are you talking about? They're like, email this person. They gave me the email. And oh my gosh, they responded to my email within like 5 minutes. And we had like a thing and we went back and forth and yeah, and then I was there at 6 a.m. in the morning. I went from being off at work at 11, did not go to sleep because as I said, if I go to sleep, I may oversleep. And I stayed up and we went on set.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And that's
how it is, folks.
When I took energy drinks. That's what it's good for. Yeah. So
that's how. Yeah, I'm happy you're not drinking as many Monsters because that stuff gets to you after a while.
Oh, it's an addiction, and that's what I'm happy with the neuro is I've been able to replace it. And normally I'll do 3 days, but 3 a day. Sorry, not 3 days. 3 a day, unless I'm doing like recently this last pay period, I did 6 16-hour shifts because I had one person say, "Is the neuro helping?" I said, "Well, I did 6 16-hour shifts in this last pay period with 126 hours on only neuro, and I'm still alive." So
Nice.
I think that's a good sign.
That's the important part. You're still alive.
Yes, I mean, you're right.
Because those energy drinks, after a while, they start to do things to you.
Right, and I feel so much more energy than I did on the Monsters because your body sometimes just gets used to it, and it just was not doing good for me. So that's, like I said, I love the neuro, and they also have a product called Neuro Sleep that I got the extra strength, which was a free sample too. And what's great is they sent me like 54, and you only take one. It's got 5 milligrams of like melatonin in it. I'll take one. I'm with it. I'm asleep within about 10 minutes. So
that's good.
If it's one of those things that I'm like, I'll be up for another hour if I don't take the
asleep.
Yeah, exactly. And you can. You are allowed to, and I've asked them that question. I'm like, if I take your neuro, your neuro thing, is it okay to take the neuro sleep? And they said, yeah, people do it all the time. You're fine, So get the energy and get the sleep all in one. I have a neuro body. And it's good for the brain. That's why it's called neuro. So, yeah.
That's good. See, folks, now you need to go check that out. I know some people out there who can't do energy drinks anymore for one reason or another.
And if you can't do, it's not my favorite because I actually bought. I probably because I noticed that I'm a gum guy. But if you can't do gum, they also have neuro mints.
Oh, nice.
But I like the gum better because I feel like the gum helps me. Even though they both have the same milligrams, I just like the chewing part and helps me stay more focused. So I like the gum.
It makes sense to me. The chewing makes sense. I feel like once it's gone, you're like, it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. If you have bad teeth and you can't chew gum, then they have the neuro mints, and I like that they come in these like little 9-packs and stuff, and yeah, they're pretty cool. So yeah, neuro gum.
We learned a lot here today.
Like I said, I feel like a walk.
We learned a whole lot.
And then we celebrated my birthday yesterday, so that was pretty good.
Oh, that's right. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. That's why when you told me about the show, I'm like, you said March 5th. I'm like, that's good. That's the day after my birthday. It's my day off, because why would you have your birthday off? You work all day on your birthday and then you have the next day off,
Exactly. That way, you can enjoy your birthday, especially if you're going to do something afterwards.
Yeah, that way everybody can praise me. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, hey, happy birthday. It's a day about me. Which recently I'm like, how did we become in a world that everybody just expects something free on their birthday? You go to a restaurant, where's my free dessert? Or like, it's just crazy. Or like Jimmy John's. If you guys have a Jimmy John's near you and you don't have the app, sign up because you get a free sandwich for your birthday. So
that's good to know.
Yeah. Or
They
like
probably
the
don't do
Dollar
it here in New
General,
York, but
or the Dollar General. They gave me a coupon. I didn't use it yet, but they gave me a coupon. Spend $10 in our store, and for your birthday, you can have $2 off. I'm like, I'm not drinking your guys' energy drinks anymore, or that $10 would have been able to be spent that fast.
exactly. James, I know you were saying in the green room that you hit some of the cons. Are you doing some of them this year?
I am supposed to be up at. Hang on, gentlemen. I am supposed to be doing a con, which I believe is SilverCon, up in Reno, coming up. I believe it's.
Oh, I got a friend that goes to SilverCon.
Yeah, and there's a couple scattered guys that go that are myself included. Sorry, man. I have a pug.
Don't worry, we all have pets. They're gonna do what they do. Just keep going.
James, when did you turn into a dog?
It was quick.
You're supposed to, instead of barking, you're supposed to speak English, not speak dog.
I do my best. You gotta translate in a lot of languages. The only con right now I do have plans to go to is SilverCon. Usually I go to HackerCon. I did go and participate in a couple others, and I'm kind of talking to some friends and I planning about Signature CreatureCon this year. I haven't finalized really much of all of that. I'm still trying to figure out exactly where I stand on a couple of things. This was not the least expensive year to be alive so far.
That's true.
I have an amazing daughter who is about to turn 18. And right now I'm trying to help her get ready for college. We just got her a reliable car and got those kinds of things have kind of really taken a lot of attention and had to focus it over on that. And that's all kind of happening in the beginning of con season. So it just really hasn't become a part of my planning for this year. I am
well, you have one. All you need is one. So.
I do like to go to one or two a year at least. There was a year where I did like 10, and it was a challenge. I really got a lot of great feedback and did well at all those. But at the same time, you kind of got to make sure you're focusing where you need to be. You go to 10 or 12 cons a year, and that's going to take a big chunk out of the time it takes you to create the books.
Definitely.
And you've got to consider all those factors when you're making those decisions.
Oh, definitely, because that's when you start. That's when you have a lot of books, and you're like, "Hey, let's do like 20 cons."
Yeah, I've got like 8 damage books, and so I've got plenty of stuff on my table, and I want to get even more. And when you have a gigantic backlist, yeah, you pretty much take it from a different level. But if you're still creating and you're paying attention, you still got to manage that time. Because one thing you don't want to do when you're doing Kickstarters is put off the things that you've promised, that you have given your word you're going to get done. And that's a little bit more important at the moment.
I completely agree. You have to understand your life. You have to understand everything. You also have to make sure what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Like I know after you do some of the cons, you may go, "Hey, I don't think I'm going back to that con."
That's happened.
Yeah. Sometimes as a person that travels, there are cons that I will not go back to because of how disorganized they were.
Yeah, I'm not going to put anything out there with certain ones, but all cons aren't created equal. Some of the smaller cons, just because they really love the local creators, are a lot more fun and have a different energy. They may not have the foot traffic, but the energy and your ability to communicate with other peers, that can sometimes be more important than the foot traffic. And then there's other ones where
definitely,
it's all, they don't have any foot traffic. There's a balance you got to maintain. So
I tell people all the time, support your smaller cons, support your local cons, and sometimes you'll find things there that you won't find in the bigger cons.
Absolutely.
Like I will say, the con I just went to 2 weeks ago. See, I'm always too busy running around doing consignments and stuff. There was one comic vendor I wish I would have spent time and I just never got to go back. He had like sealed Pokemon, like the magazine things for like $3 a piece, and I was thinking I should have grabbed them. And I know it's but you're right. At the smaller conventions, you're gonna find stuff that maybe deals that you may not get at a big con, and stuff. You may find more unique stuff, or you may even have more of a chance of finding it because you're at a smaller convention.
Yeah.
Unlike being at a bigger convention like maybe Dallas Fan Expo or the bigger shows, MegaCon. Good luck if you go to MegaCon. I heard you mention MegaCon, James. Right? Is that the con you mentioned that you normally go to, MegaCon?
MegaCon? No.
I know that we did a whole MegaCon special
what con
recently.
did you say earlier? I could have swore you said MegaCon. But...
No, VacaCon. I'm in Northern California. So.
Oh, you're in California. Okay. And speaking of California, Buddy will be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I don't know how I'm physically getting there yet, but we do have, and we may have to do a GoFundMe because I do have TikTok followers that want to support me. So, but we have a 5-day pass for free.
Nice.
One of my connections that is a comic book artist. I'm not going to mention him yet until I get permission, but he hit me up with a 5-day pass for free. So now I just got to figure out where I'm staying, and I got to figure out flying and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, we completely understand because we do that all the time. It's like we'll apply, we'll figure it out later.
Right. It's like the big thing was getting the pass to get in, because that's the hardest part about San Diego Comic-Con, especially getting a 5-day pass, and that includes preview night.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. Next thing I need to do is start posting on my Facebook and just keep hounding people to find out who lives close to San Diego that will just let me stay there, because that would be so great if I just have somebody that just will let a random elf into their house. I promise I won't drink all the maple syrup. But
come on, let Buddy in.
I can't promise it'll still be there.
Random elf housing. That's great.
Yeah.
Be a buddy.
Yeah, be a buddy and help me out. I know Santa, so I'll make sure you're on the nice list. Be a buddy. But yeah, so San Diego Comic-Con, I'm very excited because it's the first time I've ever been in California. First time I will be ever at San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm excited because that weekend is when Fantastic Four comes out. So my fingers crossed is maybe I'll meet Pedro Pascal, but probably won't happen. But if anybody can do it, it's this buddy.
It makes sense though. You're gonna be there anyway, and they're probably gonna be trying to do press for it. So
I don't think I'll be able to. So the people I'm part of, I think my person said he's gonna try to put out a thing, but I really don't see us getting accepted for that one. I hope we do, but I don't see us. Because we're still a small company, Stream Punk, and usually that gets us into the smaller cons. But it'd be cool.
Definitely, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, but I will say I may have some small connections because I am friends with SpongeBob. So we'll see what happens. Hold on.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Also, another thing that you may find on my channel, it's not always, but if I'm live, I have one friend that comes in every time, and he texts me because he knows I can see his text, and I'll be live, and he's like, dude, I need to hear your Shaggy impression, which this will also be on the podcast. So hint of when I met Matthew Lillard and how he cussed me out because of my lying zoinks, man, lying buddy, old man, lying Scoob. If you don't know who Matthew Lillard is, first, shame on you. And second, he is the live action Shaggy from the Scooby-Doo movie, aka
and the cartoon Shaggy. And the cartoon Shaggy, because he's been doing Shaggy for a while. Yeah.
After that movie came out.
Oh, definitely after. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was only after, because he first did Shaggy in the live action. Because before that, it was Scott Innes in the 90s, and before the 90s was obviously Casey Kasem.
Oh, I love Casey's Shaggy. Casey's Shaggy was fantastic.
Yes, and that's why Scott got it, because Scott Innes sounds just like Casey Kasem and can do Don Messick's Scooby, so that's what got him into the door. And then yeah, like I said, the live action came out, and then Matthew Lillard has taken over the voice basically since and stuff like that. So, man, have a great day. So, yeah.
Exactly. All right, so James, let's go through this one more time. Tell the people all the good stuff. I'll put it up there so they can go look for it as you start talking.
Yes, sir. Alrighty. Ballad Nod is a comic book. It's really it's supposed to be emotional, tug your heartstrings, because it's about a little girl who has lost her father to cancer. Her grief about this is bringing nightmares in from the dream world who are trying to kill her in her sleep, and the only thing that's protecting her is her teddy bear Patches. Now, the story is going to go where Patches gets dragged into the dream world, and she has to make the choice to either stay where she is or take the chance to go in and rescue her friend. And inside the dream world, she's going to face the wonder and fear that comes with facing your nightmares on their terms. The book is going to be about 6 issues. This Kickstarter is for the first one. First one's completely done, all the artwork, all the writing, everything. And the next one is about 50% done the artwork. All the writing is finished, and we've got scripts for the next 4. The goal is to get a lot of these out over the course of the next year. We're going to shoot for 3 issues this year, 3 issues next year, so that that's all out in one big bundle. The artwork itself, it's all done by me. And I've put as much of my own emotions from my own experiences living through the grief and the challenges of going through stage 4 cancer and what it was like trying to be a father while I'm in the middle of that. There are appearances and interviews with my co-writer, my sister Kira. She's a poet. Some of her poems are going to be inside of the rewards on Kickstarter. A lot of the rewards revolve around original art so that I can keep creating stuff that people are asking for. But we're going to have a few more that are going to pop up. I usually do custom made hoodies for my Damage Inc. book, which is the book that I've been doing. And I keep getting these tests asking where is the teddy bear hoodie. So I'm going to be working on that. Yeah, I've been getting messages about that too. So there's a couple things.
A little patch over one side.
I haven't figured that part out yet. But I'm definitely going to carry the feel with it. We're definitely going to see the scars and the things that you get from defending somebody you love for so long. Patches is covered in scars, as you can see from the image. And it's a really personal story that I made sure to have a lot of emotion in the book so that the feedback I'm getting for the pre-readers is that they felt that emotion. Some of them cried while reading the first issue. A lot of them have already supported the book. We're going to be out there for another 24 days, so we're going until just about the end of March. And I'm trying to make sure that everybody who's ever had to squeeze a teddy bear because it was too dark, or everybody who's had that fear of being sick or being lost has a chance to go ahead and grab this, understand that somebody out there knows what they're feeling, and give them a little bit, that much more courage to just keep going a little bit longer.
There you have it, folks. Go check them out. I put it into the comment section so I don't hear that whole, I don't want to go look for it. And, you don't have to go look for it. It's right there. Go.
Where's the link?
Exactly. Oh, my God. Yeah, and then he goes, Ralph, stop making fun of me on your show.
Well, you can only do what you can. I've gone on podcasts where I forgot to give the link beforehand. You learn over time to make sure that link is there if you're going to give people access to something.
Oh, dude, I always make sure, because I have you on the show for that specific reason. I'm like, I'm going to share it. And it's just funny because my friend, he's out there listening, doing things. And I'm like, I'll make fun of you.
If he wasn't one of your friends, you wouldn't make fun of him.
Exactly. That's what I say. It's
and
it's
if
love.
they get offended, then are they really your friend? No.
All right, buddy.
Take a joke.
Show off your stuff. Go for it.
Okay, back to me. No. But no. So yeah, last thing. So I'm on TikTok. Batpool_97_recovery to live. If you can't remember that, usually you can look up Buddy the Elf and usually go to users, and a lot of times I will pop up. there has been glitches recently on TikTok where they've been changing things. But we
Yeah.
love making content. We love making people smile. We did try to, what you see right now, we tried to do this challenge where for my 28th birthday, I tried to tag Drew Barrymore, Keith Lee, and Mr. Beast to see if one of them wished me happy birthday. Unfortunately, they didn't do it, but that's okay because, dream big. I could have not done it and then nothing would have happened. Nothing happened, but there still could have been that chance. And you never know. I've done this challenge before, and I've had the celebrity wish me happy birthday a week later. So there's still hope. You never know.
Sometime.
Maybe a month later, I'll get a hey, happy birthday. It's like, oh, thank you.
They get tagged in a lot of stuff, so
And that's another thing is I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Drew Barrymore was tagged as much as my people tagged them because she was probably tagged a good 200 times throughout all my videos, but
damn.
you never know. You never know. She may wish me happy birthday. She may not, but that's okay. But yeah. So anyway,
You gotta shoot your shot.
What?
You gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, exactly. I shot my shot. So next thing, first movie I ever was in. It is streaming on Tubi, which is free, Amazon Prime. It's all over there. There's a lot of ways to see this movie for free. It is called Running the Bases. I will forewarn, like I said, it is a Christian baseball movie. But the cool thing about when I went to see this is I saw this movie 9 times in theaters. Yes, I did say 9 times. And that's because the story's really good in it. And I kept bringing my friends. And I had people that don't believe in God that went and saw it. And it's like, hey, I like this movie. Because it's not shoving Christianity in your face as much as other movies do, but obviously God's still part of the premise of it. But that was the first movie I got to be part of, and I do have a speaking on it. Next thing, Streampunk Entertainment or Cinema for this kit, and you can check out all the interviews I've done on there. One of the recent one we did was Jason Mewes, from Jay and Silent Bob. Very awesome interview. That's
fun.
there. We go, what? Sorry.
I said Jason's a fun guy.
Oh, yes. He is a fun guy. No. But no, and I go live with Scott and Day on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Central Time, Eastern Standard Time, sorry. And yeah, so we do that. There will be a bunch of more interviews being posted soon so that you can find me there. And the last thing is we got a podcast coming up. Do you have the picture by chance for that? There we go. Yes. Manning the Wheel with Buddy and Friends. That is going to be my new podcast that I realistically hope to have something posted by next week. I'm still figuring out all the kinks of doing a podcast, all the editing stuff, how much it's going to financially cost me, trying to go the cheapest route. So we're still working out, but this is coming soon to a streaming service near you. Manning the Wheel with Buddy and Friends. It's going to be, like I said, a whole podcast about my experiences, what got me into cons. We'll be nerding out. I'll have different guests on there. I don't know exact. I've got a couple people that want to be my co-hosts, so we're still working all that. So yeah, this is coming soon. Hopefully by next week. So yeah, Manning the Wheel with Buddy and Friends.
There you have it, folks. Go check him out. As you can tell, Robert's a lot of fun. You see him at the cons, go say hi.
Yeah.
You can't miss him. You can't miss him.
Right. Yeah, you can't miss me. And I do want to say this because I always hear this all the time. If you see me at a con and you think, oh, hey, that person looks busy, still come say hi to me, because I've had that comment so many times that they'll be like, well, I didn't want to bother you. I saw you at the con, but I didn't want to bother you. I'm like, you sure still came and said hi to me? Because, yes, I may have been talking to somebody, but it would have been good to see your face. We could have grabbed a selfie, but no, you took that away from me, and how dare you? Yeah.
I like how you said,
I
you
get
took that away from me.
Yeah, exactly, because I'll get that comment all the time because they're like, oh, yeah, I saw you over there, but you looked busy, so I just kept on moving. Well, you could have moved yourself over to me and been like, yo, and the weirdest part is when I go to these big cons, like, we were talking, is the weirdest thing is when they'll be like, "Are you from TikTok?" I'm like, no, not me. I'm not from TikTok, no. But it was cool. As the small con I just went to, the Missouri Comic Con, it was crazy. Is I did have a fan come up to me, and they're like, "Are you the Buddy the Elf from TikTok?" And I'm just thinking in my head, I mean, I should be. There are a couple other buddies.
Yeah, there are a couple others, yeah.
And I was like, "What is your username?" So I went and looked up his username, and he was following me. So I'm like, "Yes, I am the buddy that you're talking about." And I said, "Let me go unfollow somebody," because TikTok does a thing you can only follow 10,000 people, and it blows my mind that I've followed 10,000 people. But I've also been on the app since 2018, actually technically 2015 when it was Musically. But anyways, so I've been on the app for a long time. So I went through my list real quick, picked somebody to unfollow that wasn't following me, because I'm usually a follow for follow guy. So I just unfollowed that person, went yeet, and I was like, "Hey, I just followed you back." So
that's a nice way to do it. I love that. That's a nice way to do it.
Right. It was very genuine, because the kid's like, Are you the buddy? And I'm like, "I think I'm the buddy from TikTok. At least that's what I'm told." So yeah.
Oh man. So folks, go check him out. Let's see what do we got? Oh, Papa is Phil Russard's letter to his father.
I know Phil.
Oh, you know Phil? Yeah. See,
Yeah,
we got the same circle.
Yeah, I like his tragedy series.
Oh yeah, his tragedy is fantastic.
Yeah.
So this book was a book that he made so he could get it to his father, but his father died of cancer before he was able to give it to him. But he's trying to get the book done. He realized that he wasn't going to be able to get the big book done because it would cost like $15,000 on a Kickstarter, and that's like difficult not these days. So he's broken the book down to 5 comics, a mini series, and right now he's at the sign up to get notified. Go help him out. Sign up to get notified, folks. If you ever wanted to help a project out, this is the time you can help it out, because it's free to sign up to get notified. And that helps the project out because it puts it in a better place in the algorithm. The more people they have following before they start, the better place they start in the algorithm.
You do have to create an account on Kickstarter, though, because that's confused some people when they get on there. They hit notify. And
I know, and that's why some of my friends don't do it, because they're like, "Ralph, I don't want to create an account on Kickstarter."
Yeah, but look, Kickstarter, real quick, is not a charity thing. Some people have the thing that people are on there begging for donations.
No,
it's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more of a way of doing pre-sales with creators who are trying to get things done, and a way to support. It's an excellent platform to support people who are trying to start something. That's why it's called a Kickstarter. It is not a charity. So the people who are a little bit afraid to create an account for Kickstarter, it doesn't take a lot of data. And like you said, notifying me on launch is literally just, hey, send me an email so that I know when this thing is coming. And yes, it absolutely helps the artists. The more that are on there, the more the algorithm will show on Kickstarter the work out to other people and give that creator a chance to get their project kickstarted and get them going. So
and another great thing about Kickstarter that people may not know is, like, for example, like with your Kickstarter, people will be like, "Oh, I don't have like $5 right now." But what's great is you don't get charged until 1, Kickstarter's over, and 2, if the Kickstarter is successly funded. That's the only way you get charged, and it tells you what day you're going to get charged if it's successful. So that way, like you go, okay, I want to put $20, but I don't have $20. Oh, it says I got until March 29th. Okay, I get a check right before then. Okay, I can put $20 there, and I'll
So it gives you time to actually save up for it. Yeah.
Right, and that's the one thing I love about Kickstarter, because I've supported a lot of Kickstarters.
Me too.
With the Tragedy series, with Dirk Manning is another one that's a really good guy.
Oh, we love Dirk Manning here. He comes here all the time.
Yeah,
Dirk's a cool guy.
That may have been how me and you met, because but yeah, so Dirk Manning.
That is possible, yeah.
Because he's got my last name, so I love that.
Oh man, that's double Manning.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you gotta do a video, man. You gotta do a video next time you see Dirk and go, it's double Manning.
He keeps avoiding me. You know, I go to this con and say, hey, you coming to this con? He said, no, I'm skipping that con this year because you're going to be there. No, he doesn't say it like that, but it's how I feel, you know.
Oh man,
What's funny is
Dirk's
year,
oh my god, we love him here.
yeah, he did a wrestling book that I kickstarted.
Dude, that was great. Yeah,
the butts in the seats.
exactly.
And what was great about that is the year before that, I met Dirk, but didn't really know Dirk. I just saw him and said hi real quick because he was the last name Manning. I was like, oh hey, I should probably say hi to another.
I'm Manning. You're Manning.
And then I got into his butts and seats, and I haven't seen him since. And I need to because I need him to sign my butts in the seats. So,
Look at Chuck Pinot going, oh damn, look at these handsome people.
Yo, Chuck, I know him.
What's up, Chuck?
And Chuck's like, I know these people.
Yeah, Chuck's a funny guy.
What up, Chuck? I mean, just hey, Chuck. No.
Up Chuck.
I think he'd rather you went with up Chuck.
The other thing that I got to tell you guys about is, of course, Matasaurus here, our beautiful co-host who's been hanging out with us now for a bunch of years. She has her Sacrimony 8 coming out soon. She's at the Notified to Launch 2. She's doing pretty well. She is at 115 followers. Let's see if we can get it to 150 and give her like a good start to that Kickstarter. Because, folks, I'm telling you, it helps a lot. Matasaurus here is an amazing artist. She does everything herself. She's the writer. She's the artist. She's the letterer. She does it all herself. My favorite line that she does is that she does all these jobs and she can barely afford to pay herself.
Yeah.
Folks, go sign up to get notified. It really does help. I'll put it into the comments section there on the side. Go do it, man. It helps out people, and you're not paying any money to do it, folks.
No, free.
Mr. Nathan, are you there?
I am here.
Are we forgetting anything?
Not that I am aware of.
We're
Of course,
forgetting
Pat
your
Shan
beautiful
probably has
face.
a Kickstarter 2 out there. You just look Pat Shand up and you'll find it. And is that it, Matt?
I believe so.
So Nat, how are you doing in the game? They're good.
Oh, I took a break from the hunt about 30 minutes ago.
Well, folks, does that game work like the other games where you can play with people?
Yes.
So go ahead, Nathan. Tell them where they can find you if they want to go find you.
You can find me right here on the Bitten Apple TV.
How does that work if you want to friend you on Monster Hunter?
Oh, you would need like my code.
So that's another reason for you guys to come check us out here at Bitten Apple and talk to Nat. Go for it.
Yeah, talk to Nat. He'll give you his code. Maybe.
I'm lonely.
He's lonely.
You're also playing Marvel Rival, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, well, right now we might be going
game.
in the direction of doing a little play on air with Marvel Rivals because a couple of the people we know are like, hey Ralph, why don't you do that?
I know the voice. I've interviewed and met the voice of Jeff the Shark.
We love Jeff the Shark.
Yeah, we do. No.
I hate Jeff. I hate
You
Jeff
should
with a
not
passion.
hate Jeff. He's so adorable.
I hate
My
Jeff.
kids. God, my kids love Jeff the Shark, and I find him just as annoying as Nat does.
He's just a,
Oh, God.
He's just an entryway for Vor.
he's just a baby shark. Do. No, I'm just kidding.
Just a baby.
He's just a baby.
Well, folks, as you can see, lots of fun. Go check all these beautiful people out. And on this show, when it ends, we press the button, and where it stops, nobody knows.